Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this week's Next Level Live. We have a beautiful doctor with us, Dianah Lake, who is going to be sharing with us missions from the heart and how you got into transformation, how you got into health and wellness, and the big things that you're up to in the world. So welcome, Dr. Dianah Lake.
Thank you, Alexa. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you tuning in from this evening?
I'm in Maryland.
Okay, beautiful. It's been cooling down a little bit, which I've been like so happy about.
Yes. I want the rain to stop so my deck can go up. I'm in the middle of building a deck.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Improvements. Perfect.
Yes. It's the COVID, the new COVID project.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, for those of you watching out there, I'm sure you have a couple of these that you can relate with. I certainly do. So yeah, beautiful. Yay. Yeah. So welcome. So excited to have you on the show. I mean, since you first came on my radar, you've been up to greatness. You were another one of these people who sort of enrolled yourself in the trainings because you just were meeting all these people that you know a good thing when you see it and you're like, okay, this is something that I get to experience. And so welcoming you into the community was just awesome because we were like, oh, you're already up to extraordinary things.
It was great. It was a nice transformation, a nice transition.
Yeah, beautiful.
Perfect timing for my life.
Yeah, totally. So will you give our viewers a little of a taste of what you're up to and what Dr. Dianah Lake is all about?
Sure. Hey guys, so I am an emergency medicine physician. So I'm actually an independent contractor. So I have multiple contracts all across the East Coast from Maine to Florida. So I work in multiple ERs, taking care of the community. And I am also a fitness and wellness coach and a menopause wellness expert. So I've got many hats. I'm a mom to two special needs boys. So that's a whole separate conversation of, responsibilities, of course, that comes with being a special needs parent. And I am on the board of directors for a fantastic nonprofit that we're going to be talking about, Kedo. And basically, that's sort of my baby right now that I'm, doing some fundraising for because we're going to build a health clinic in southeastern Liberia, where I'm from. I'm from West Africa, Liberia. And so those are the things that are going on right now. I'm running a fitness business, running my medical practice, doing some community service with Kedo, and up to good things.
Oh my gosh, how do you have time for sleep? How do you have time for, you're also in, I don't want to spill too much of your beans, but you're also in a relationship. How do you find time for it all?
Oh gosh. So it's time management, right? It's basically prioritizing, and you learn some of this in the next level trainings, right? What is, the priority to you? And by when can you get it done? By when, right?
Yeah, we all know about that.
By when, right? A VIP. I mean, so basically you prioritize the things you want to get done for the day. And I think going through VIP really set me up for that, because every morning for 10 weeks, we have to think about what we're going to do with our day. What are you going to accomplish today? What must you accomplish today? And so that really stuck with me, the, urgency of things that must be done today, the things that are kind of, if they get done, would be great. But, so it's kind of like the important and urgent, the important and not urgent, the not urgent, not important, kind of categorizing. Yeah.
Totally.
And so that's kind of the way I really structure it. Does it always work? No. Do I expect the unexpected? Yes. So, you just roll with it. When something changes or something pops up that is not expected, you just figure out a way to make it work, find a workaround.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, you must have been up to time management before coming to Next Level also, because you had already written several books and you were already doing your emergency medicine and a mother and all of that sort of stuff. So what did you notice shifted for you at, like, before and after the trainings through coming and doing leadership?
So that's an interesting question, because I'll be honest, when I walked into Discovery and I saw Chris Hawker up there and I saw all these people in this room, I was like, I got this.
Yes.
I was like, what are they trying to tell me? I've got this. I was so happy. I went in there like, and then when we started doing the exercises and my blocks started coming up, I was like, holy crap. There's some things here that I thought I have dealt with that ostensibly are still in the, on the back burner running the show. And so those were the things going through Discovery that came up for me that I thought I had already managed and worked through. That was eye-opening for me. Like, oh my gosh, okay, these are areas that I still need to work on. And it was humbling.
As it is for everybody in their own.
Yes, it was humbling. I was like, okay, let's get it together, Dianah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Amazing. So we've got a lot of people watching this evening. So thank you guys for being here. We have somebody who specifically, Christine Knight, she says, we have an Aspie child. So very happy to see this. So yeah, so there's other people in the community who can relate with what you're up to, yes, which is awesome. Yes, absolutely. And many wonderful people from VIP. Hi, everyone. Great to see you. Beautiful. Yeah. So tell me, so how did you get into medicine? Like, did you always know that you wanted to be helping people, or you were interested about the body, or how did that unfold for you?
Oh gosh. So I was 14 and I was about to start, I was in the 11th grade. So I finished high school early. And so I was 14 when I decided to become a doctor. My mother wanted to be a nurse, but she got pregnant with me, got married, and then this is early 70s. So, when she got pregnant, it was like her nursing career and all those things went on a hiatus. So I believe that because she didn't fulfill that dream, she kind of shoved me into the role, But I remember talking to her. We were discussing, I was about to go into 12th grade, and we were discussing, what industry do I want to focus on? And I love traveling. So I said I wanted to be a flight attendant. It's like, I want to travel and see the world. That's what I want to do. And my mom was like, well, they take people to different places, but they come back. They don't actually go on vacation. That's their job, to take people there. And I was like, oh, that's not too exciting. Let's find something else. And so she said, well, you're good in the sciences and you like math. And, so we just kind of started talking about my strengths. And I said, well, I don't want to work for anyone. I wanted to have autonomy. I wanted to have time freedom. I didn't know that's what that was called at 14, but I just knew I wanted to have autonomy in whatever I did. And I wanted to work with the public. So it didn't all make sense that it would be medicine, but I knew the different aspects of what I wanted to do. And she said, well, what do you think about being a doctor? Mothers can be very...
an option for you.
They can be very persuasive. And I said, okay.
If they're good at it.
Right. Okay. And I said, yeah, that sounds good. And then we talked about what that would look like. I said, so what does that look like? And she said, well, you would have to go to college, and then you have to go to medical school. And I wasn't intimidated by the time that it would take. For some reason, I was just a very studious kid, and I really liked learning. And so I was like, okay. And then I just went down the path of pre-med. And, once you decide that's what you want to do, it's kind of a path is created for you. You don't even have to think about it. It's just like you do this next, and then you do this next, and then you do this next. And then, you just go right down.
7 years later, you're like, okay, I'm starting at
Actually, 12 years later.
Oh.
Yeah, because you do 4 years of college, then 4 years of med school. And I did emergency medicine, and my residency training was 4 years in the Bronx. So it's basically 12 years of, your high school and all of that. And then another 12 years of postgraduate, post high school.
Oof. Why, my goodness. So how old were you when you graduated then? Like when you started to actually practice medicine as a professional, how old were you?
How old was I? I was 28, maybe.
Okay. So
I'm an OG now. I'm 45 now.
You look great. You look great.
Thank you. I think it was like 28, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been many years. Wow. 17 years or something like that.
Yes. Yes.
I would say you probably know how to fix somebody pretty well.
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh. So do you get to travel around with that, or is that mostly based in Maryland, or how does that work?
So 4 years ago, I started doing independent contracting. Actually, when I launched my fitness company. So when I launched the fitness company, I really wanted to have more flexibility in my schedule and have a little bit more control. So I started doing independent contracting where I would contract with the hospital, sometimes through an agency, through a referral agency. And I would work for that hospital as a contractor as opposed to being an employee. That was a huge boon for me because number one, as a contractor, the rate is much higher. So you don't have to work as many days out of the month. You don't get health benefits. So you have to provide your own health benefits, like your health insurance and things like that. But with the increase in the revenue you're making, you can totally do that without an issue. And you set up your retirement, like I had to set up my own, personal retirement and all of that. And it's all on track for me to be retired by 57. So that's the goal.
Beautiful. Yeah. I have the feeling it will be that or sooner for you.
Yes, you know how I am.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So wow. It's like, why would anybody do the other option? They probably,
I thought about that when I started doing independent contracting. Like, why did I wait 9 years to start doing this? And I thought, at the time I had small children, right? I wouldn't want to travel and leave. I was married at the time, so I wouldn't want to travel and leave my husband with the kids. So it's really, you think about the family. A lot of people don't do it because either they have small children, they don't want to be moving around a lot. So it just worked for my life at the time when I chose to do it, because, I had my kids every other week. So I would work locally when they're with me, and then I would travel on the weeks that they're not with me. So it just worked out.
Okay, cool. And then what got you into the health and fitness? Like, what was that shift about for you?
So health and fitness actually came a few years back after I lost my dad. I lost my dad to diabetes and kidney failure. He was on dialysis. And so when I saw him go through that, I just kind of, started, number one, it was the biggest loss I had ever had in my whole life. I never lost anyone close to me. And my dad was my huge, huge, huge supporter. And we had an amazing relationship. So it hit me pretty hard. And I had to kind of reassess what I was doing, with my health. Not that my health was crazy or like way off, but I really started to reassess, like, look, I need to really start paying attention to what I'm eating. I'm not going to get diabetes. This is something that's totally preventable. And so I went on this whole, health kick. And then my younger son was diagnosed like a year and a half after that, a couple of years after that. He was diagnosed with autism, on the autism spectrum. And as I researched what to do for that, I was already in this holistic, lifestyle sort of way of being. And I read a lot about having an organic diet and stripping all the, preservatives and things out of foods for kids with neurologic conditions, that it helps them. Mm-hmm. So, doing that for him, I just went, holistic, organic, like all the way. And that's how I really started with the nutrition piece. And then 2016, I did a bodybuilding competition.
Awesome.
And the fitness bug bit me.
At like 41, you did the fitness.
Yes.
You went all in on the professional fitness end of things.
I loved it. Oh my gosh. It was such a boost, to my body confidence. And I had actually gone through a divorce like a couple of years before that. So it was just an amazing, amazing boost of confidence. And I felt like you could not tell me anything. I came out of that competition like, what?
I am hacked. Thank you so much. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah. And then once I saw what it did for me, I was like, oh my gosh, like there's just so many women who can benefit from this experience. And so I decided to go into fitness coaching.
Okay, cool. So do you have a couple tips that you could give our viewers around like health and fitness?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So the first one I would say is consistency, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're doing any kind of a fitness journey, whether it's weight loss, whether it's toning and sculpting, not everyone wants to lose weight, right? Some people just want to get stronger and leaner. So anything that you're doing around fitness, you want to be consistent. Okay. If you're doing it kind of up and down, you're one day you're doing it and then 3 weeks go by before you come back and do it again, you're not going to see the results you want. So you need consistency. You need to be doing exercises that are moderate intensity, at least 30 minutes, 5 days a week. And of course, nutrition is a big piece. That's why don't you see me working out? I'm like a crazy person. I'm like 30 minutes, right?
A week? Oh,
that's the recommendation for physical activity is at least 30 minutes of moderately intense physical activity 5 days a week. Okay. That's what's recommended to just keep active and get your cardiovascular health and all of that going. And then nutrition is a big one. Okay, you can do all the workouts in the world. If your nutrition is not on point, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So your nutrition needs to be, I like the 80-20 rule, like 80% of the time, really be on, whatever it is you're going to do, whether it's paleo, whether it's a clean diet or, whatever diet you're going to choose, whether you're going to do intermittent fasting, there's all these different fads and things going on now that people are following. But the point is, whatever it is that you're doing, you want to be consistent with it at least 80% of the time. So that when you have little deviations, it won't change your outcome that much because, you're staying on 80% of the time. And you want to have lots of veggies. Okay. 50% of your plate needs to be vegetables. 50%. Okay. All right. And then your protein should be about 30% and your carbs is about 20%.
Cool. Awesome. I love this. And yeah, if they want to know more, they can, somebody awesomely or just generously put your Dr. Di Fit for Life. If you want to connect directly with
yes,
do that there. And then you're probably on social media, all that good stuff. What are your handles on Instagram and Facebook?
So all of the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is Dr. Di Fit Life. So it's DRDIFITLIFE. And that's the website as well, drdifitlife.com.
Nice. Very cool. Yay. Awesome. So let's talk about this amazing mission that you have been standing for and your connection to it. How did you get involved with Kedo? And, what is it and what's the mission right now?
Okay. So I got involved with Kedo. Actually, Rose Sarner, the director of Kedo, is my aunt. We're obviously both Liberian, and she went to Liberia back in 2009, back where she grew up, and realized that this village really had, severe health conditions going on. The biggest one being, maternal death during delivery. So women were having children and dying from complications of childbirth. I mean, the number is significantly higher than the national average. Well, not national average, but just globally. And also a lot of the kids are dying before they reach the age of 5. So
sorry, just to ask a question. Is that normal? I mean, this is higher in this specific village than it is in Africa, or just higher than like the global?
It's higher global, it's higher even in parts of the country. Wow. So because this village is remote, they don't have some of the direct access to care, right? So the closest health facility is about 2 hours away.
Okay.
And so the same thing with education. So Kedu actually built a school in the village back in 2014. The school actually was finished, and the government now has been running it. Rose was able to get, funding to get the school actually operating. The only problem is the school goes up to 5th grade. So it's an elementary school, and it's the only school there. So after the kids get to 5th grade, they have to go away to further their education if the family can even afford that, right? So some of these kids, I mean, if you go on the Kedu website, somebody will put one of the people on our team will put the link for the Kedu website in the chat. If you go on the Kedu website, you'll see some of these kids, they barely have shoes to wear, Clean water is another issue in the village that we're working on as well, making sure that there's clean water. So the biggest issue right now is that there is no healthcare there. So we're looking to create a health clinic, which is going to have a maternity ward to deal specifically with the maternal, death issue that's going on there. Wow. So there will be a maternity ward. There will be an emergency section for people coming in for emergencies, and there will be a section for primary care stuff like preventative care, vaccines, and those type of things, and an administrative part of the building for the people who actually work there and run it. Yeah. So that's the plan, is to get this structure up, to then pitch the government for help to run it once it's up and going. We also would like to have continuous sustainable funding to keep it going as well, from donors and people who, find this to be a cause that they want to stand for. Yeah. So that's what's going on right now. What we're pushing for is to raise money to build this health clinic.
Amazing. So how much, I wish we had the pictures, but we're only able to show pictures online right now. And we have there's a few on the Kedu website. Yes. There's several on the Kedu, and then also on the Give Better, which is actually the fundraising link. Yes. What will it take to build this clinic monetarily?
So right now, the goal is $75,000 to raise to build the clinic. Mm-hmm. And the rate of, the conversion rate of the US dollar to the Liberian dollar is significant. So it's close to 1 to 200. So the $75,000 would go a long, long way in Liberia. Yeah. Wow. So it's like 1 to 200. So any amount of money given toward this cause is going to go a long way. Right now, the foundation of the clinic has been built. So the project has started, but it's been halted because of lack of funding. And that's why, when Rose brought me in to be part of the medical board, we decided we need to, get some outside sources to help us fund this, so we can be able to get this building erect and, get supplies in there, get people to help us make it happen. So these villagers will have healthcare. If we don't do it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. So super important. And like, as you said, children are like, what's the mortality rate there? Like, how many of the kids are dying?
1 out of 8.
Oh.
1 out of 8 are dying before age 5.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And about how many people are living there?
I don't have the actual number of the population. It's on the Kedu site. So the link should be in here. Okay. If you click on the Kedu site, you'll see, details about the village.
It's a smaller group of people, right? It's not like 50,000 people. It's like a few thousand or something.
It may be smaller than 50,000. I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure the data that's on the website will give you a little bit more information about the demographics.
But it sounds like, I mean, geez, if there's even 50,000 people or 20,000 people in a area, and there's no healthcare there, and there's no clean water, and children are dying 1 out of 8, like that's a problem. That's a really large problem.
Yes, it's a major problem. And I mean, in general, Liberia, the country as a whole, is ranked number 8 in the poorest of countries in the world. Wow. So Liberia is number 8, the 8th poorest country in the world. I think Burundi is like the number 1, the poorest. But it's basically, when you look at, the gross national product, and you look at, the income per family, is very low. So a lot of these people will be very grateful for anything that they can get.
I mean, they're probably of salaries of like what, a couple $100s a year. I mean, is it that much of a discrepancy?
Yeah.
So if somebody was to donate $100, that could potentially be somebody's whole living.
It goes a long way. Absolutely. It goes a long way.
Hear that out there? $100. Like, how easy is it to part with $100? Like, I'm going to donate, and like, yeah, I mean, I'm very clear that if my money can go that far, like, yes, like even $25 is supportive, but give what you can give, because my experience is that when we give, it always comes back to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they are very grateful. I really encourage people to go to the Kedu site and see the pictures and see what the building's going to look like, and see, the people they will be helping. There are pictures of the kids. There are pictures of Rose when she was last there, teaching the kids in the school that was built. The school is, a standing structure that's helping the community, but they're missing a major part of just normal livelihood that we take for granted here. You know what I mean?
I think I can show that. I don't know if I can show it or not, but I'm trying to do the keep talking, and I'm going to see if I can pull up the Kedo
sure
website here.
Yeah, but I mean, normal basic necessities that we take for granted in the developed world, most of these people don't have, right? So, running water, shoes to wear, clean clothes, education, healthcare. These are all things we have, and we just assume that, it's a right for us, right?
But it's not. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know. Whoa, that is a very interesting, interesting effect right there. That's not what it should be looking like. So I don't know if we're gonna actually stick with that. But yeah, check out the Kedo site, and really, more importantly, check out the Give Butter site, because
Give Butter is what we're using for donations. And if anyone watching wants to become a team member and create their own donation page, let us know. You can type something in the chat, like team member or something like that. Let us know that you want to be a team member, and you would be able to create your own Give Butter page where people who know you, your followers, your friends, your family, can go on and donate based on what you've set up.
Yes. So I'm showing in the, I don't know if you're able to see this, Dianah, but there's a link that shows what it would look like if you're a team member.
Yes.
We've got Blama Sarner there, who has joined the team, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm inspired because, I mean, there are so many causes out there, but to have somebody who, like, you're from Liberia, you have a direct connection, like, you're looking over it. Will you be over there working at all with them once things are erected?
Yeah, absolutely. So the goal is I'm going next year, assuming that coronavirus, will, this whole situation with the pandemic will resolve, at some point. But the plan is to go there next year, and hopefully at that point, the building will be up and built. And we can get to, see the people that we've been working so diligently to support. There's another, another project in Liberia that I'm working with, where I'm going to be doing virtual, medical teaching to some medical students in Liberia between now and the next 24 months.
Awesome.
So I'm going to be doing, and actually I will post it on my page, so anyone can really help with that. If you have any medical background and you want to just do virtual teaching to people in Liberia, you can. So I'll share that information as well.
That is super cool. Yeah, if you'll put that in the comments underneath the interview, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
And I bet
anyone can volunteer for that.
Perfect. Yes. And so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if somebody was to donate generously perhaps they might be able to link up and go over there and.
Yes, shoot, we might name a ward after you.
Wait. What did you just say? Because it was just.
I said we might name a ward after them. You know, the maternity ward. Yeah.
Did you hear that? All right. So what does somebody get to donate in order to get an award or like some sort of like something in their commemoration?
Oh my gosh, 10,000 would be great. 10,000.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's a maternity ward. There's an emergency section, so we can name a whole section of the complex after an organization or a generous donor or something like that.
Somebody who wants to be a giver and knowing also that your money, giving $10,000 is going to be like giving like $100 million.
Yes.
Yes.
When you convert that, absolutely.
Whoa. Okay, cool. It's a no-brainer. We're all millionaires, right? So yeah. Beautiful. All right. Well, Dr. Dianah, thank you so much for being here this evening. Thank you for being a stand for just heart and like being a light and a beacon in the world, and just showing the way for many people to see what's possible for them. Absolutely. Yeah.
I've been blessed, so I feel the only thing I can do is be generous.
So good. Yay. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everybody watching, and donate $25. Yay. All right.
Give butter. Go to give butter.
Give butter. Do it. All right.
All right, guys. Good night.